Friends, let us all study, investigate, and practice the real words of the Buddha. Tonight, we have another very special discourse from the connected discourses of the Buddha. This is from chapter 22, the discourse number 56. The name of the discourse is Phases of Clinging Aggregates. For our easy understanding, our topic tonight is phases of clinging. Phases of clinging. Phases means circles. Here in this discourse, Buddha talked about 5 aggregates affected by clinging, 5 aggregates subject to clinging, where the Buddha pointed out 4 different circles. Let's understand through the discourse. This discourse was delivered by the Buddha while he was dwelling at Savatthi, the monastery built by Anathapindika the millionaire, Chetas monastery, where the Buddha addressed the monks and said, "Bhikkhus," that is how the Buddha addressed the monks. "Bhikkhus, there are these 5 aggregates subject to clinging." What 5? The form aggregate subject to clinging, the feeling aggregate subject to clinging, the perception aggregate subject to clinging, the volitional formation aggregate subject to clinging, and the consciousness aggregate subject to clinging. Clinging is the problem. Clinging in Pali, the Pali term that Buddha used is upadana. Upa means inside, in, either in or near. Adana means you drag something closer to you, or you drag something in. In this case, you bring something, dragging something inside. Upadana. Upadana. You to understand what we drag, what we bring inside. We have to understand this. Upadana, there are 4 types of upadana. These are mental, not physically. You don't bring anything inside physically other than what you are eating. This is mental. Buddha's whole teaching is based on the mind. That is very important to understand. Everybody should understand. Whenever the Buddha talked his Dhamma, Buddha talked something about the mind, mental, not physical stuff. The physical world is there, but Buddha did not want to talk about physical world. Once he said, "Nate kama yani chitrani loke," whatever the beautiful things in the outside, that is not what is called sensuality. Kama. Karma is within. All Dhamma taught by the Buddha, whole Dhamma, whole teachings are within. So clinging has two more synonyms: attachment, grasping, and clinging. As I see, these three words are used to denote three levels of clinging. The first thing what we do when we see the object, when we hear the object, when we smell the object, when we taste the object, when we touch this tangible, the object, and whenever we think of something, what we do is with our desire, with our lust, we attach to that object. That is what is called attachment. For these three terms, attachment, grasping, and clinging, for these three terms, Buddha used only one term, which is upadana. Upadana, you bring in. With our attachment, with our tantalization, with our desire and lust, we attach to things, to our six senses. When we attached, that is simply the attachment. Attachment. Once we attach what we do, the next step is grasping. We grasp it. Attach and grasp it. Hold it tightly, just as the snake tenaciously grasped the frog. The snake tenaciously grabbed and grasped the snake. That is grasping. The third level is what is called clinging. Then you are clinging to that. This is what is called upadana. There are four types of clinging. Clinging to sensuality, clinging to views, clinging to rules and rituals, and clinging to self. These are four types of clinging. We all have five aggregates. As we repeatedly talked, we always talk about five aggregates are arising and passing within the six sense bases. Five aggregates are not the problem. The problem is five aggregates subject to clinging. Subject to clinging means upadana. We grasp them. How do we grasp them? We grasp them as mine, me, myself. Whenever we see the object, whenever we hear the object, whenever we smell the object, we grasp it as mine. We want to keep it as mine, me, myself. That is why the problem. That is why we have stress, distress, we have dukkha, suffering. It is because of that grasping, that clinging. Clinging takes place dependent on craving, urge, thirst. Craving is the problem. Craving is the problem for clinging, attachment. So, as the Buddha said, there are 5 aggregates subject to clinging. Now we already know this. Then the Buddha pointed out the 4 phases. Buddha said, so long as I did not directly know as they really are the 5 aggregates subject to clinging in 4 phases. 4 phases. There are 4 phases. I did not claim to have awakened to this unsurpassed, perfect enlightenment in this world with its devas, Mara, and Brahma, in this generation with its ascetics and Brahmins. It is devas and humans. So the Buddha did not declare, did not claim that he was the Buddha, self-awakened one. He did not declare this. As long as he understood the 5 aggregates subject to clinging in 4 phases. Buddha said clearly, but when I directly knew all this as it really is, then I claim to have awakened to the unsurpassed, perfect enlightenment in this world with devas, brahmas, maras, and humans. And how bhikkhus are there for 4 phases? What are the 4 phases? I directly knew form, form, its origin, its cessation, and the way leading to its cessation. Those are the 4 phases. 4 phases. Form. When you take the 5 aggregates of the 5 aggregates, there are 5 aggregates: form, feeling, perception, volitional formation, and consciousness. These are the 5 aggregates. Of the 5, when you take the first one, form aggregate, we have to understand what you call form. Then we have to understand its origin. What is the origin? What is the cause? Then we have to understand its cessation. Then we have to understand the path leading to the cessation. Those are the 4 steps, 4 cycles, 4 phases. I directly knew feeling, referring to feeling, those 4, referring to perception, those 4 phases, volitional formations, referring to volitional formations, those 4 phases, 4 cycles. Then consciousness, referring to consciousness, these 4 phases. Now I'll show you these 4 like this. I have created this for your easy understanding. Now 5 aggregates with 4 phases. Then you take form aggregate. You see the big cycle. Within the big cycle, there are 4 small cycles. So there's form aggregates, feeling aggregates, the same. Then perception aggregate, volitional formation aggregates, and consciousness aggregates. So the Buddha directly knew this, knew form, directly knew the origin of form, directly knew the cessation of form, directly knew the path leading to the cessation of form. Not only form, feeling, perception, volitional formation, and consciousness. And then the Buddha explained what this form is, how this form comes to be. You have to understand form. What you call form? Buddha says, and what bhikkhus is form? The four great elements and the form derived from the four great elements. This is how we have to understand what you call form, whichever the form. Wherever we talk about form, we have to understand form means whatever formed with the four elements, and the form whichever derived from the four great elements. This is called form. What are the four great elements? Earth, water, fire, and air. These four. They are derivatives, are there. Derivatives means even mental form. Forms not necessarily something solid, something gross, but even the form is even mental form. There are mental forms as well. In case of like mentality and physicality, when you talk about mentality and physicality, nama rupa, where rupa, the form, means physicality. It is not a figure, gross figure, simply the nature of form, nature of the four elements. Now then the Buddha said, with the arising of nutriment, there is the arising of form. That is the cause of form. That is the origination, how these forms come to be because of nutriment. With the cessation of nutriment, there is the cessation of form. This noble eightfold path is the way leading to the cessation of form. You see, now when you take five aggregates of the five, the first one, form aggregate. Form is to be understood. That is one circle. Form is to be understood. In the big circle, you saw that there are four different circles inside. The four represent the uh, four faces of form. First, we have to understand what is form. Then, what is its cause? What is its origin? Then, what is the cessation? Then, what is the path leading to the cessation? Please understand clearly whether we see this physically, when you see this as pictures, these are not outside, all these are inside. When we apply Dhamma, we can understand this inside. Now, form means four elements. Form arises due to nutriment, ahara. There are four types of nutriments. Once Venerable Sariputta pointed out what you call nutriments. According to the discourse of right understanding, Venerable Sariputta said, there are these four nutriments for the maintenance of beings who have come into being, or for the support of those in search of a place to be born. This is the purpose of nutriments. For the maintenance of all those born, and for the purpose of those who are searching of a place to be born. There are 4 types of nutriments, ahara. Which for? Physical food, whatever we take, whether gross or refined food. Then the second one is contact as the second. Then third one, intellectual intention, the third. And consciousness, that is the fourth one. So those are the 4 types of food. We need, for the physical existence, we need this nutriment called physical food. Other 3 are mental. Other 3 nutriments, namely contact, intellectual intention, and consciousness. These 3 are mental. Right. Now, that is referring to form aggregates. So form aggregate has these 4 phases, as the Buddha said here. Now, let's see what the Buddha's expressions. Thereafter, the Buddha said, whatever ascetics and Brahmins, having thus directly no form, its origin, its cessation, and the way leading to its cessation, are practicing for the purpose of revulsion, disenchantment, revulsion towards form, for it is fading away, and cessation, they are practicing well. Whoever practicing, understanding, and directly know the form, its origin, its cessation, and its the way leading to the cessation. These 4. Whoever know this, the Buddha said, that if they are practicing for the purpose of revulsion, for the purpose of disenchantment and fading, they are practicing well. Those who are practicing well in such a way have gained a foothold in this Dhamma and discipline, in this sasana, in this dispensation. They have gained, Buddha clearly said, those who are practicing, whoever, whether a monk, nun, or a lay male follower or female follower, whoever, if practicing properly in this manner, they have gained a foothold, they have gained a permanent place in this Dhamma and discipline, in this sasana. Foothold. You find a place to keep your foothold, like the step in the sasana. You have a place in this sasana. That is the meaning. And then further the Buddha said, and whatever ascetics and Brahmins, having thus directly known form, its origin, its cessation, and the way leading to the cessation through revulsion towards form, through its fading away and cessation are liberated by non-clinging. They are those who have liberated. Those who have liberated. They are liberated by non-clinging, not clinging. They are the liberated ones. They are well liberated. They are well liberated. Hmm? They are well liberated, the Buddha said. Those who are well liberated are consummate ones, arahants, consummate ones. They are the arahants. As to those consummate ones, there is no round for describing them, no round for describing them. This is to be understood. Hmm? It is very important to understand that one. No round to be understood. No round to be described. No round means they have no circle. What is that circle? What is that circle? I'll show you what that circle is. It is called samsaric circle. This is the samsaric circle. The arahants have no such circles. As lay persons, as what you call worldly persons, they have this circle. What is the circle? Of the circle you see of the top, the circle is cut in the middle. The upper part of the circle is what you call consciousness, vijnana. And the lower part of the circle is divided into two. Left side is feeling, perception, volitional formations, contact, and attention. What are these? These are what you call mentality, nama, mentality. And the right side of the lower part of the circle is earth, water, fire, air, and their derivatives. That is what is called physicality. So mentality and physicality, nama, rupa. So this circle is called what you call samsaric circle, nama, rupa, and vijnana. Nama rupa paccha vijnanang, vijnana paccha nama rupa. That is how the Buddha said. These are interdependently existing. Interdependently existing. Nama rupa paccha vijnanang, vijnana paccha nama rupa. Consciousness depend on mentality and physicality depend on consciousness. So those who have attained enlightenment, those who have liberated, those who have become arahants, they have no such circle. This circle, vattam tesang natti panyapanaya, to show them, to describe them, there is no circle. That is what the Buddha said. For them, there is no circle, such circle. So that is what happened. Then the Buddha further explained the feeling aggregate, perception aggregate, volitional aggregates, and consciousness aggregates as well. So what is to be done? You to understand this form aggregate as it is, feeling aggregates as it is, perception, volitional formation, and consciousness aggregates as they really are. Referring to feeling aggregates, the Buddha says there are these six classes of feeling. Six classes of feeling. Form also, there are six classes of forms. Friends, forms, there are six classes of forms. What are the six classes of forms? Form of form through the eyes. Then form of sound, form of smell, form of taste, form of tangible, form of Dhamma, thoughts. Those are called six classes of form. That is the form which we take from the external object. That form is not physical. The form in the six sense bases are not physical, they are mental. That is the first thing to be understood. Once the Buddha said, if you do not cling to these six classes of form, that itself is the attainment of enlightenment. If you do not cling to, if you have no desire and lust towards these forms, six classes of form, that itself is the attainment of enlightenment. To whom the Buddha said this? To that young man, Hemaka. Hemaka. So now there are six classes of feeling. What are the six classes of feelings? Feelings born of eye contact, feeling born of ear contact, feeling born of nose contact, feeling born of tongue contact, feeling born of body contact, feeling born of mind contact. Now, those are the six classes of feeling. With the arising of contact, there is the arising of feeling. That is how we have to understand the arising of feeling. How feeling arises? What is the origin? What is the cause of feeling? What is the origination? Contact. Contact. Contact is the cause of feeling, arising, cause of arising feeling. With the cessation of contact, there is no cessation. There is the cessation of feeling. So the cessation, with the cessation of contact, there is the cessation of feeling. Then the path, what is the path? For the way leading to the cessation of feeling. It is the Noble Eightfold Path. You know the Eightfold Path. Right understanding, right thoughts, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. That is what is called the Eightfold Path. That path is the path. That path is the way leading to the cessation of form, feeling, perception, volitional formation, and consciousness. All these eight, you don't want to think of all these eight in your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and the mind. Buddha has summarized this eight into three. There are three training: Sila, Samadhi, Panya. The Eightfold Path is condensed into three: morality, concentration, and wisdom. These three are there in the eye, in the ear, in the nose, in the tongue, in the body, and in the mind. That is how we develop this eightfold path. Now the same thing the Buddha said, referring to feeling. Buddha said, whatever ascetic and Brahmins having thus directly known feeling, its origin, its cessation, and the way leading to its cessation, are practicing for the purpose of revulsion towards feeling, for its fading away and cessation, they are practicing well. Those who are practicing well have gained a foothold in this Dhamma and discipline. And those who have practiced in such a way, they have come to the liberation, and as they are liberated, consummate, there is no round for describing them, no circle, no samsaric circle. They have cut off this samsaric circle. That is why they have no round for describing. Samsaric circle means consciousness together with mentality and materiality. They have separated this. They have consciousness. Their consciousness is called luminous consciousness. Luminous consciousness. Anidassana viññāna. Luminous consciousness. Or consciousness without depending anything is free consciousness. Appatittita viññāna. Appatittita means not depending on anything. Then referring to perception, Buddha said, perceptions also 6 types, 6 classes of perception. Perception of forms, perception of sounds, perception of odors, perception of taste, perception of tactile objects, perception of mental phenomena. This is called perception. With the arising of contact, there is the arising of perception. What is the cause for contact? Just like feeling, it is the same thing. What is that? Contact. Contact is the cause for the arising of perception. As we said earlier, the cause of the arising of feeling is contact. The cause for the arising of perception is contact. And referring to volitional formations, Buddha said there are volitional formations. Volitional formations are also 6 classes. Volitional formations regarding forms, volitional formations regarding sounds, volition regarding odors, volition regarding taste, volition regarding tactile object, volition regarding mental phenomena. These are the 6 classes of volitional formations. So what is the cause? What is the origin of volitional formations? It is the same, contact. You see, the cause for the origination for the arising of feeling, perception, and volitional formation. For all these three, what is the cause? For the arising, what is the cause? Contact. That is the nutriment. That is the nutriment for those three: feeling, perception, and volitional formation. All these three are there because of contact. Contact is the food. Contact is the nutriment. Referring to the consciousness, Buddha said, and what bhikkhus is consciousness? There are these 6 classes of consciousness: eye consciousness, ear consciousness, nose consciousness, tongue consciousness, body consciousness, and mind consciousness. This is called consciousness. We have no 6 consciousnesses. We have only one consciousness. But consciousness is connected to different senses. Since we have 6 consciousness is connected to eye, it is called eye consciousness. When the consciousness is connected to ear, it is called ear consciousness. When the consciousness is connected to nose, it is called nose consciousness. When the consciousness is connected to tongue, it is called tongue consciousness. When the consciousness is connected to body, it is called body consciousness. When the consciousness is connected to mind, it is called mind consciousness. That is how these 6 classes of consciousness come to be. With the arising of name and form, name and form means mentality and physicality. This translation, I'm not happy with that translation, name and form. That is why I say mentality and physicality. Nama Rupa. Nama Rupa means mentality and physicality. Mentality and physicality is the cause for the arising of consciousness. Consciousness depend on mentality and physicality. And at the same time, mentality and physicality depend on consciousness, the cycle again. The Buddha said, with the arising of name and form, there is the arising of consciousness. With the cessation of name and form, there is the cessation of consciousness. This Noble Eightfold Path is the way leading to the cessation of consciousness. The Eightfold Path. Whatever ascetics and Brahmins, having thus directly known consciousness, its origin, its cessation, and the way leading to its cessation, are practicing for the purpose of revulsion towards consciousness, for it is fading away and cessation, they are practicing well. Those who are practicing well have gained a foothold in this Dhamma and discipline. And whatever ascetics and Brahmins, having thus directly known consciousness, its origin, its cessation, and the way leading to its cessation, through revulsion towards consciousness, through its fading away and cessation, are liberated by non-clinging. They are well liberated. Those who have practiced in such a way, they are the liberated ones. Those who are well liberated are consummate ones. They are the Arahants, the enlightened ones. As to those consummate ones, there is no ground for describing them. to describe them. No roundness, no circle, no sansaric circle. They have completely cut off, totally done. They are the fully liberated, enlightened one. They are the enlightened ones. So, friends, this is the Buddha's explanation of the five aggregates subject to clinging, and how one is clinging with four paces, and whoever practicing well will gain a foothold in this Dhamma and discipline, this in this sasana. And finally said, whoever have well liberated are called consummate ones, the arahants, who have no sansaric circle to be described them. So let's understand this wonderful teachings of the Buddha, and let's try to practice this Dhamma, try to understand this Dhamma properly and practice accordingly, so that we can realize that real peace, real happiness of Nibbana. May we all attain that supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu.